Let's talk about a player that I feel like we're not talking about enough who could have a big role in the Bears offense this upcoming season. So what is going on, y'all? Fox Sports all back at it with another video talking some NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, guys, please do hit that subscribe button down below. We'd really appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. Helps the channel a lot. Again, hit the bell icon, hit the like button, all of that good stuff, folks. Really, really do appreciate it if you would do so. All right, so the guy I'm talking about, who is it? It is Roschon Johnson. Yes, Roschon Johnson. So I saw this tweet on X, and I thought it was pretty interesting. And it's come from this guy, Sean Mitchell, who I think is a fantasy analyst. But the tweet went viral. That's why I saw it, and I want to share with you guys. And he said the following: Roschon Johnson in the Jamal Williams role is literally unfolding in front of our eyes, and it is like only a few of us care, LOL. End quote. All right, so I saw that and I started to think, and I'm like, you know, that thought has kind of crossed my mind before, but I really never thought more about it, right? It was just like an immediate thought, and then it's like, okay, yeah. And then I didn't really dive into it. And now that I think about it more and more, it does make sense. So then I did a little bit of research here. So we all remember Jamal Williams in that 1 year in Detroit where he went nuts with like 17 touchdowns. Like, it was ridiculous, right? So that year was 2022. And that was the year in which they had, guess who? DeAndre Swift with the Lions. All right, so that was the year Ben Johnson had DeAndre Swift and he had Jamal Williams. So this is the pre-Monty and the pre-Jahmyr Gibbs era. And in that year, you had Jamal Williams with 1,066 yards, 17 touchdowns. And DeAndre Swift that season had 542 rushing yards on 99 carries at a 5.5 yards per clip carry in 14 games. So he actually did play 3 games less than Jamal Williams. And his yards per carry was actually better, by the way, 5.5 compared to 4.1 for Williams. But Williams just got so much volume, all right, especially at the goal line, short yardage. And then I'm like, wait a second. Ben Johnson's scheme, right? Between our 3 running backs in DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, and Kyle Manengai, who fits the scheme the best? And it's clearly not Swift as far as the best fit, because we've seen when he's had Swift, he has lessened his workload and carries, and he uses him more sporadically. It's a guy who's a good physical downhill runner with solid pass protection skills. That's Roschon Johnson, or at least the best fit for that role, right? Roschon Johnson is a physical downhill runner that has decent pass protection skills. And we saw last season, right, Roschon was great in 3rd and 1, short yardage, goal line situations. And you can kind of see the similarities between him and Jamal Williams. So where does that lead us to, right, as far as the role itself? Well, DeAndre Swift is still going to be the starting running back, but I think this is going to be way more of a split than we probably thought. Okay, and look, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think I was wrong about the fact that the Bears are interested in getting another running back here, because obviously Nick Chubb signed with the Texans. You had J.K. Dobbins signed with the Broncos. And it seems like, you know, Ben Johnson is fine with this running back room. And until he sees otherwise, he's going to go ahead into the season with this running back room. And to me, the reason why I think he's fine with it is because he likes the fact that he doesn't have to rely on one single guy to be the bell cow. He's not going to have either of these 3 guys be a 25 carry back. He's going to keep them all fresh, and he's going to use them all. He likes using Swift for the explosive plays. And you know, when you have those explosive plays, you tend to be gassed afterwards. You can't be out there for every single carry. So Swift is not going to get the lion's share of the carries. It will be a mix and a balance between these 3 guys. Kyle Manengai, we'll see. Again, he's a rookie, so I'm not going to go ahead and give him too much of the workload, if you will, or not much at all early on. We'll see later on. But yeah, man, Roschon could actually be sort of the, you know, lead back in a way, all right? And again, when I say lead back, I'm using it loosely because he's not going to get 25 carries, 20 to 25 carries. He's going to get, you know, I would say if he's a lead back, it could be a, you know, 55-45-5 split between the three, or to start out. It could be a 60-30-10, right? It's a very narrow margin. And I think it does make a lot of sense because Roschon's going to be our best bet at the goal line. He's going to be our best bet in short yardage situations. And the fact that he's a good downhill runner, which is what DeAndre Swift lacks, I think Roschon is set up for a big role. And here's the thing with Roschon, man. He just never has had the opportunity. All right? 2 seasons in the NFL, 81 and 55 carries for 352 rushing yards and then 150. All right, so he's really never had the opportunity. His rookie season ran the ball at 4.3 yards per clip. And so this season, you could see, hey, if you give Roschon the carries, he can show you what he's made of, especially behind an improved offensive line. And DeAndre Swift, when he ran for 1,000 yards behind the Eagles' lead offensive line, he had 229 carries, for crying out loud. 229. All right, Roschon had 55 last season. So you get my point here. It's like, let's give this guy more opportunity to see what he is made of, to see the workload he can carry. And again, we're going back to what Ben Johnson likes, which is Ben Johnson likes to use a committee. And he even did a committee, again, with Gibbs and with Monty. And obviously, I'm not comparing these guys to them because they're much less talented. Jahmyr Gibbs is an all-world talent. David Montgomery is very solid. But what you have here with these 2 guys and then the 3 with the rookie, I think Roschon is the best fit for Ben Johnson's offense. And I think he is set up to get, I would say, the lead carries here, if you will, in totality. He might not start the game, but as far as getting the most carries in the game, I think it could be Roschon. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and say here. So I think he's set up to be a big part of this offense, certainly, because, again, Ben Johnson's going to rely on play action a lot. And for play action to work, I've said this multiple times, I'll say it again, you need to have a good, respectable running game. And the downhill physical run games where guys, again, just pick up yards on every carry. It doesn't have to be a 10, 15-yard run. It could literally just be 2, 4, 5, 3, like literally just chunks every single time. As long as you're moving forward, that's more important. So that's how I feel about it, folks. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree if Roschon Johnson is set up for a big role for the Bears this upcoming season? Leave a comment down below with your thoughts. As always, thanks for watching.